All right. It looks like finally I'm on. Sorry, guys. Had a little bit of some technical difficulties. But cool boy, Satvir, Aiden, Libby, thank you so much, guys, for joining me in on another live stream. I kind of look at myself being confused, trying to figure things out. Good things from there. So, yes, I wanted to address some kind of questions and also just hang out with you guys. It actually reminded me uh, when COVID first kind of came out and we had to go and do that distance learning, and I was going live every single day, chit chatting with you guys. I guess I didn't make the bed. I was laying with my daughter as she was trying to go to sleep, and I forgot to bounce the pillows because I came running in here. But that's okay. I think you guys will forgive me, hopefully. But yeah, it just reminded me of going live every day this week to one thing talking about my course and answering your questions, and it was kind of the same thing as what I did with COVID. I think I did that for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. I went live every single night, and it's actually really exhausting. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I'm literally just get up, set up my camera. Obviously, I didn't plan and special do anything here, and but I don't know what it is. I think it's still just that the mentality of going live and getting yourself like mentally prepared and like saying what you're gonna say. It gets exhausting. Like I was just exhausted today. I was almost like I don't know if I can go live, but I know there are some of you that do have questions on my course. Some of you just want to hang out in the live stream, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not doing any Q&A today, but I definitely am happy to answer, kind of just some questions from you guys. Let's see if there's anybody that posted any live stream questions. There was one student. All right, so no additional questions. There was a student, though, that did give me a very long response on that, and they said it was a private question. So I'm not sure if that student is writing here because this was not meant for me to reply to. So I don't know who that student is, nor do I have their email. But their question over to me was something that I'd like to respond to. But just remember, guys, in the Google form, if there's not an entry for you to put your name and your email, then I have no other way to contact you. So if that student is watching and you would like for me to respond back to that question privately, then make sure you just readdress me again and add in your email address so I can go ahead and do that. What about Q and B? Not sure things. Mickey Bruno says, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for on this. And Bossica says, thanks for your help. I got an 8% in pre-calculus. Awesome. Congratulations. Good for you. Salty Waffler says, my teacher teaches in the hardest way possible. She doesn't know what she's doing, and she doesn't even have a degree. I am so sorry for that. Salty, keep on. Salty Waffle. That's a nice name. Keep on. Just keep on working. You just got to keep on doing what you can do. I know it's kind of difficult, especially when you are trying to learn and try to figure things out. And it kind of seems like your teacher is against you rather than for you. So Rogue 3 Vlogs, make sure you just go ahead and check on my Q&A stream, the open Q&A, where I will be taking your questions for on that. So if you do have any questions on that, you can definitely go and do it. And here, if you guys do have questions, I don't know why. I thought this was in the description, but it's not. So I'll just post it in there. If you guys do have some questions that maybe I don't get to tonight, or if you're joining the stream late by the time I end off, and you just want to know a little bit more about my course, what I did want to kind of cover with you guys briefly tonight was just kind of some things that are special, that are different about my online course. And if you have not been around my channel for the last week or the last month, really, then knowing that I am releasing or opening enrollment for my pre-calculus course. So that is something that is new going on in my channel, which I'm very excited for. It's definitely going to be a different experience this year. I don't know. I'm supposedly I'm supposed to be teaching in person, but we might be going all digital. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how that works. But yeah, I might be digital for both of them. At least with this course, I am doing it a digital review. So let me just get to, I wanted to get to the settings. No, that's not it. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. I just wanted to add the link for those of you that if you had any questions. Oh, I did have the link. Okay, yeah, the Google Forms in there. All right, fine. We'll just keep that there then. Okay, so let's go and chat real quick, and then I'll get to some of your guys' questions. Do I teach physics? No, I do not. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Obi. Help you. That's awesome. Who is that behind him? I don't know who is behind me. Hopefully there's nobody. That's like freaking me out. Um, so, but anyway, so let me kind of just cover some of the things that I wanted to join. So first of all, if you have not joined a masterclass yet for the 3 keys to crush pre-calculus, I have opened up 2 more spots, not 2 more times, but 2 more masterclasses on Wednesday. That is going to be at 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are my last 2 masterclasses where I will be teaching the 3 keys to crush pre-calculus for this upcoming year, as well as going over all of the details of my pre-calculus course. But I obviously wanted to kind of let you guys know a little bit about my course for those of you that are joining on the live stream. Hopefully that is something you are interested in. Maybe you're taking pre-calculus. So let me kind of describe a little bit of behind my motivation of first, why I wanted to kind of create this course and then why I wanted to make it different. So first of all, all my videos on YouTube, I have a ton of videos, thousands of videos, actually over 11,000 tutorials on YouTube I have created. But the problem with my tutorials on YouTube is you've probably found them using search or maybe suggested, whatever, but it doesn't take you through a path of learn this, and then learn that. It's just basically a crapshoot of what type of video you're going to get. And there's nothing wrong with that. That works for a lot of students. However, I have noticed that, and I've also wanted to provide students a pathway of learning of, here's what you need to learn. And basically let me take you through the learning process of pre-calculus. And so that's something I've been developing for the last couple of years. And there's courses obviously online already on pre-calculus. This is nothing new. There's courses on all types of math topics. But the one thing I found, for myself, when I create YouTube videos, I always want them to be short and to the point. That's why most of my videos are under 2 minutes, right? Or under like 3 minutes, or definitely under 5 minutes. I try to keep them pretty short. And one thing what I've found is like when people start a math course, they typically don't finish it. Or when somebody starts any online course, they just don't finish it. It's not something that they maybe they'll go, for the first couple weeks or months, but then they just kind of give up on it and they don't really use it anymore. So I wanted to create a math course, an online course that had much more engagement. Basically, it provides access to myself, includes some in-person tutoring, includes a kind of discussion group, and just kind of helps the student goes through the process. And also I wanted to have something where I can show students how I want them to learn the pre-calculus, kind of like exactly how I'm teaching inside of the classroom. As well as something where if students just needs like a review here or how to do something there, they have instant access to that as well. So the way that I really like to kind of separate my course as a little bit different from other online courses is really bringing in that community and that support element. It's not just lectures, it's not just videos and worksheets. And unfortunately, I have some of those old courses that I created back in the day. And that's what I thought like an online course was. Like, let me record myself, throw a worksheet with it, and then that's an online course. And of course, that didn't really do very well because it's just not engaging. It doesn't, it helps some students and that's why they're still up there. But, it's as far as taking students through the learning process, I don't think it does as good of a job as it should. And that's why I wanted to work on this. And this course is not something that is new. It is something I've been working through inside of my own classroom for the last 2 years. So the cool thing about the course is, I've been working on it for a while. And basically my students inside of my classroom have been my students in the online curriculum. So they've helped me refine the course. They've helped me trim it down. They've helped me create all of the resources, the notes, the guided notes, the slides, the tests, the quizzes, everything that I've created for this course. I've already had my students go through it and, we found where there was mistakes or there was typos and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like student tested for the last 2 years. And the nice thing about this was I always wanted this to have this. So therefore I could always provide it to students, but it wasn't really until last year when COVID hit where, people were freaking out. They're like, how am I going to do this? The teachers are trying to put webcams on cardboard boxes and, it's like this craziness, and rightfully so. And there was a little bit of me that, felt bad. I was trying to, help some teachers out. But for me, my transition with my students was, all right, guys, we're just continuing as is. Like your next the lecture's already up there. You already know the homework. They're already familiar with the course website. So we really didn't miss a beat. And obviously there were some things with engagement that I had to kind of mix because I wasn't planning on going live. So that's why I've kind of developed that engagement element where we can still connect online, because I found out if you just give students videos, or give them work to do, they're not going to do it. They're not going to engage with it. So what I have done is what I've done to make my course special is I've taken the content and trimmed it down as to the point and straight that I can possibly make it. Previous lectures I would sometimes have would be between 60 and 80 minutes. Now my lectures are between 10 and 20 minutes. So I've really kind of like narrowed down exactly what it is I want you to know and get to that. And then again, if you need more resources or more information, I still have that old material available. And so that's kind of what I think this, course is special, that it's something you can, it really can cater to a lot of students as well as to parents and teachers. Basically this course can replace your pre-calculus course as a teacher or as a student. And that's why I'm really excited about it. And that's why I've really been taking the time to, let you guys know about it and email and post on social media, because I've never really promoted anything that I've really done before. It's always just wanted to make videos, and I'm still going to make videos. I'm still going to post pre-calculus videos. Still going to, be sharing resources and everything like that. But, I definitely think this is something that I've been putting a lot of work into, and it really is something that I'm proud of. So if you are taking pre-calculus and it is something that you are interested in, again, I'm doing 2 masterclasses next week at 3 p.m. and at 9 p.m. So just make sure you go to brianmclogan.com/PC Foundations. And there we will kind of go through what is available in the course, as well as talk about some ways for you to be successful in pre-calculus. If you join my course or not, the masterclass is going to be beneficial to you. All right. So let's go and see if you guys have any questions. Emma says, do you teach the math parts for a PSAT or SAT? No, I don't really do any test prep. I would say pre-calculus is a great course for test prep because it's going to cover a lot of the algebra that you would expect to see on the SAT, PSAT. It's going to cover it's going to cover some geometry. It's going to cover some trigonometry. So it's going to cover a lot of elements that will be helpful for it. But as far as like narrowing down, really prepare you for those tests, pre-calculus will not do that, nor will my course. You'll definitely want to take like a test prep course for that. Whoa, I used to learn this stuff in school. Yeah. And Adele says, how would you recommend preparing for the SAT? I think the SAT, it's really weird because I know that so many times it's been like canceled and, people are taking this, I don't know. I have some reservations about the SAT, ACT, and I think it's a test. You got to practice and study for a test. I think the best way to game this system, because I really do think of it as just like a game. I'm not a big proponent of those tests just because I don't feel that they give such an accurate view of students' ability to learn or students' ability to be successful. I think they just really mostly test students' ability to do well on a test and put in the work or the effort. And if you have the money for the resources to do well for those tests, then you can basically do well for those tests. Obviously some people are always going to score better than other people, but anything that you can kind of game the system by, I just kind of have a problem with it. But, I would definitely say if you have the resources, take a test prep class, do as many examples as you possibly can do. So there's tons of, YouTube channels that focus on SAT, ACT prep. There's booklets, there's courses. I would just go through as much of the resources as possible, paid and free. I just don't have an opinion though on what is good, what is not, just because that's not something I really focus on. Caleb, if your pre-calc has log functions, I'll sign and pay right this moment. Well, I don't physically have the logs in on there. But the cool thing about my course, Caleb, is that there is so I don't teach logarithms in pre-calculus in my course. I used to teach logarithms, but it's just not in my curriculum. So unfortunately, I do not have it's not part of like my training system. However, if you go ahead and join pre-calculus, you'll definitely going to get access to all the other modules that will definitely be helpful. And in addition, I do have lessons and work and videos on logarithms that I can definitely share with you inside of that. The cool thing about the joining the class is you also get access to a members area. And what the members area is basically there for is I realize that a lot of students are taking my pre-calculus course just to do better on their own pre-calculus course. You know, maybe they're learning their pre-calculus online and their teacher's just recording videos, or, you know, some things that I heard was they're just getting worksheets, you know, and it's like they had to like scour to find, you know, what they needed to learn. So I want to make sure that students that, you know, do not have a course that they can follow step by step what they're supposed to be learning, they can rely on my course. But I also realized that, you know, pre-calculus is like a hodgepodge of topics. Not every teacher is going to teach pre-calculus the same. So, you know, some other topics that I used to teach that is not part of my pre-calculus curriculum would be sequences and series, exponential functions, and logarithms. When I was in pre-calculus, we did a lot of linear systems and systems of equations. So those are some things that in that private group, we can definitely share with you some resources, and as well as my some notes that you can go and take to help you with that. And also, in addition to the private community, not only is that a place for us to communicate back and forth, but also we have the live streams. So we can also, you know, kind of like I do my open Q&A on Sunday nights. I do a monthly live stream. I am hoping and planning to do more than that. But right now I just wanted to commit to one live stream a month where basically I can just answer your questions and, you know, cover anything you have. So you can pre-submit questions, or like this live stream, you can always just show up and answer questions from there. And Rico, hi. Isaiah, when do you most multiply? I don't know what that said. Muhammad says, for someone who skipped several grades in a row due to financial circumstances that were outside my control, am I completely screwed, or can I catch up? If so, how? The best thing that you have right now, Muhammad, is you can definitely catch up. Remember, math is not a race. Learning is not a race. So, you know, just take it at a time. Do, obviously, depending on, you know, your pace and what you want to schedule, go as fast as you can possibly go. But no, you can definitely, you know, catch up. You know, obviously, I don't know how your school system goes, but if you're able to fit in extra time in the evenings or during the summertime, you know, during typical semesters, then go ahead and do that. You know, maybe if you're able to take online courses or something like that to catch up, but you can definitely do that. It is the amount you multiply the base. Yes, Caleb, that isn't squared. That is to the fourth power. That is correct, you guys. All right. Thanks. Good review. Pre-calculus. Henry, I'm assuming, are you talking about my pre-calculus review or just in general for this? Is highly important versus besides just memorizing for us? Yes, that is correct. Do you believe that education system should change? It's been the same for years. Username menu. How long do you want this live stream to go? Yeah, I think the school system needs to dramatically change. I don't think that a lot what we are doing and preparing for you guys is really, you know, as beneficial as it needs to be. For instance, like if I was, you know, a lot of what we teach, including a lot of pre-calculus and calculus, is really just to kind of like, you know, go into the next step. Now, obviously, I created the pre-calculus course because we still do need people to know calculus. We still need people in engineering and physics and, you know, all those to have that calculus foundations. And again, that starts with a pre-calculus. But really, outside of the mathematical track, when you get into just general students that just want to take algebra, or they're forced to take geometry and algebra 1, I think we do a big disservice of students, you know, because I mean, anytime when it's acceptable that people hate math or they believe that they're not good at math, and that is absolutely not true, then there's an issue, right? And I think that's, you know, it's accepted. Like students feel like it's okay to be bad at math. It's okay to hate math. And I think when that is something that is acceptable, you realize that the way that we're teaching math and the way that we are assessing people in math, there's something wrong with that. You know, that should not be the case. math is beautiful. It's about being curious, about learning stuff, and it should be something that's fun. People should, want to learn math and want to go farther and farther in their investigations and understanding of mathematics. But I think one of the problems that we have is for such a long time, we wanted to push students into being really strong math students. And, that like, oh, if you do really well in calculus, then you're really smart and that's what we need. And yeah, maybe back in the day, there was time that we needed people to be really strong mathematical, students and brains. But now with like technology, we don't need that many people to basically be robots. That they can just, give them a problem, they can just do the problem. We need people that can understand things and, can apply things and know how things work in the context. That's why statistics is really, pushing a lot of its uses now in the everyday real life. And we're still going to need physics, calculus and all that kind of stuff. We're still going to need that push. But I think also we're losing sight on a lot of what can be applied in this day and age. So yeah, there's a lot of things that need to change. And one of the problems with why we don't want to change is because one, it's kind of been the status quo. Unlike this COVID, we haven't really had to change. So I think part of the little changes right now is kind of happening. People are realizing that they maybe don't need to go to college or they don't have to get a perfect score on the SAT, ACT. Some of those kind of things are starting to, kind of happen. It's like, why am I studying for this class? Like, why am I taking this class? Some of those things are kind of, changing, but I also think we just need to, we need to adapt. We need to make sure that we are teaching students what it is they need rather than teaching them something like how good of a grade you're going to be. So now we can now organize you or compare you to somebody else, depending if you get into the right school or if you get the right job and so on and so forth. So you can get me on a whole tangent on that, which I do not want to go on, but I definitely has a good idea for some upcoming videos, which I will definitely like to do. Everything's once you prove all the algebra cheat sheets to prove the basic algebra skills. Would you do a lesson on Bessel function? Probably not. That's not something I am. First off, for the math major is tough. I was asking if you've taken spike geometry because there's a lot of real analysis. No, I have not, or at least I didn't take it when I was in school. Look poorly on algebra, but take calculus to fail algebra. Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely not rich. Trust me, this is just a classroom there. Well, so J727, man, I'm so worried about pre-calc next year. Well, hey, make sure you join my masterclass, and I'll give you those 3 tips that you can use. And trust me, even if you don't even want to, obviously I'd always welcome you into my class, but even if you decide that you don't want to join, my class and my learning, obviously I have a ton of resources on YouTube for you that I definitely know that will support you this year. And then also I'd recommend the masterclass is going to give you some tips as well as some resources or keys, as I like to say, that's going to help you be successful this year. I really do promise that it will be something beneficial you want to know. Well, hi, Steven. Maya, I know he was laughing because of my comment. Yes. There's nothing special. I mean, the bookcase does look really nice. There's not really anything stuck in there. But the funny thing is you can, those are girls' shoes. On the other side of the bed is a whole bunch of my math papers because I have boxes and boxes and stuff from there. But yeah, it's cool. So how do you join the masterclass? It is in the link. I'll actually put it in here as well. It's https brianmclogan.com/PC masterclass. So I have 2 of them going on next week at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. And I'm also going back to school on Wednesday. So it is going to be a very, very busy and tiring day for Wednesday. So, but either way, I'm excited for those of you that want to join, and I'll definitely definitely bring some value for you guys. But otherwise, just a reminder, guys, in the description here, I do have a link. If you do have any questions that you'd like me to answer, I can answer them privately, or obviously I wanted to bring up for the stream. I also brought in the questions. I will be going live again tomorrow at 3 o'clock and on Friday at 11 a.m. So if you do have any more questions you want me to address, or if you just want to hang out with me for another live stream, then that is definitely cool. I'll be more than happy to thank. And thank you, Miss Laura McLogan, my lovely wife, for giving me the super chat of $2.99. I'll take that to buy coffee tomorrow. Do you have any limits? Yes, Albert Einstein. Thank you very much for your contributions to mathematics. If you go ahead and look on my playlist, I have a ton of videos on limits. And I'll actually just link it onto it just because I want to for you. But I have a PC the limit. Where is that? I have 160 videos for you. See, I told you guys I have a lot of content. But here we go. There's everything on the limit that I got. Actually, it's not everything I have. I actually have more, but there it is. Tony Carr. Well, thank you very much. I try to be as lit as I possibly can be for you guys. And I just really enjoy teaching and helping you guys out. So that is definitely appreciative. Do you count sleeping sheep? 1, 2, 3. Or do you use a Fibonacci sequence? Fibonacci sequence, definitely. Please, everyone, read the actual book. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. For the sake of learning, appreciating overall worth as a person, I find myself doing well and enjoying it. Hopefully, more educators take your approach towards teaching. Well, I'm learning math for the sake of learning and appreciating it. Well, thank you, Alvaro. I really do appreciate that. Your math book actually helps. Caleb, I'm not sure who you are referring to. Is my math book, or whose math book are you referring to? Algebra. I mean, I definitely saw math equations when sleeping. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, my computer is about to die. I forgot to plug in the charger. But all right, guys, I will be back here again tomorrow at 3 p.m. and as well as on Friday at 11 a.m. And again, if you're taking pre-calculus and you're interested in joining my course, I have enrollment at brianmclogan.com/PC Masterclass. 2 masterclasses on next Wednesday for 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. And just a reminder that enrollment is going to close on my course on the 16th of August at 10 p.m. So I am closing down shop for that. So therefore, I can focus on teaching because I am back in the classroom on the 20th. Is it the 20th? Maybe. I thought so. I don't know. But I am back in the classroom during that week. So I want to make sure that I have all my students. I got orientation going on, and we'll get back in there. So I am teaching only pre-calc. I'm teaching pre-calculus and algebra 2 this year. No, I do not teach physics. And no, I don't do physics questions either. So I'm also planning. Well, thank you. Awesome, Charlie. Good to keep making some more videos. Please, please, please. And Caleb, I will do some factoring. But if you guys have any questions, again, for my open Q&A, I'll be back on Sunday. So I'll do some math there. And thank you guys for joining me tonight. And I will see you hopefully some other time this week. All right. Cheers, guys.